Hey Charles, how's it going? Tim Archer here. I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you a few ways you can really boost the Seaside Heating and Air Conditioning website to bring in more leads and more revenue for your business. I was actually taking a walk down Neptune this morning and saw one of your trucks. So I hopped on the website and figured I'd just shoot you a video and give you a few tips. Now I know you're busy, so I'll make this quick and let's get started. Before we actually talk about what's on the site, I want to talk about how people are finding the website. And if you go to Google and you search for example, HVAC repair Oceanside, CA, you'll see there's three types of results that Google shows up. The first type of result is the paid AdWords section, where you see this yellow ad button next to each company's name. The way these pay-per-click ads work is just as the name describes, you're paying per click. So every time one of these companies has a click onto their website, they're paying sometimes upward of $20 just for that click. And that's whether that click turns into a lead or not. So if you do the math on that, and we'll assume is $20 per click, if it takes 20 clicks to get one lead, then that's $400 per lead. And then if only 1 in 4 leads turns into a sale, then that's $1,600 just to acquire that one client through AdWords. So obviously you're not going to see a great ROI there, and for that reason, I don't recommend having to rely on that for too long. If you keep scrolling down though, you'll see there's still two different types of results to go. There's the local map listings here, as well as the local organic results below. First, focusing on the local map listings, this is probably where 40% of internet searchers go to as far as the companies they do business with. Just to show you how powerful it is to have one of these map spots. If we take a look at American Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, if we look at their Google My Business page, you can see that they've actually had around 70,000 impressions on that map spot. So that means that American has shown up in this map spot around 70,000 times to people who are searching for HVAC companies around Oceanside. So if you crunch the numbers a little bit there, and typically when you have a map spot, it's going to get you around 10% of those views. So 10% of 70,000 is 7,000. And then if we say they close maybe just 1 in 10 of those hits onto their website, then that still means that Americans had 700 customers as a result of having that map spot alone. And the thing is about the map listings here and the organic results below, you're not paying per click there. So all of the clicks onto the site are free once you've got that map spot or that organic result. So since obviously you want a map spot, the question becomes, well, how do I get a map spot? And the answer to that is there's actually a few different factors that Google considers when it pulls up the top 3 businesses in the local map listings. One of the top factors is what's called citations. And citations are basically just mentions of your business's name, address, and phone number throughout different local directory sites. These sites are things like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Porch.com, Manta, and each time Google sees one of these listings, it counts each citation as a vote for your business. So the more votes you have, the more likely you are to have a map spot. And I've actually got a tool that tells me what citations are currently active for your business as well as the competition. So when I ran the test on Seaside, you can see you've currently got 46 active citations for the business. These are some of your active citations right here. One thing I did note that you might want to look into is that with your citations, you want to try and have consistency across each listing. And what I found was you've actually got 2 addresses that are showing up for your business. One is this 1359 Rocky Point Drive, and then the other one is this 2942 Industry Street. and that's those two are kind of conflicting with each other. And Google, when it sees conflicting information like that, is less likely to give you one of those map spots. So that's one thing I would do, is maybe change these address listings so that they're even all across the board. Looking at some of the local competition, another thing I found out is that your competitors are outdoing you in terms of the number of citations. So if we take a look at the top competitors here in the map listing, you can see this one is American Plumbing Heating. They're outdoing you by about 40 citations, and for that reason, they've got that #1 map spot. And in all, there's around 100 citations that the local competitors have that you don't. So that's my next recommendation, is to build out more citations and grab one of those map spots. And if you've got the time or someone to do that for you, that's something you can definitely take care of yourself. But when I do partner with someone and do all this for them, that's one of the first things I take care of, the citations. Moving back to the search results, one of the other factors that goes into whether or not your site shows up for a local map listing is the mobile friendliness of your site. And just to give you a little bit of background, recently Google came out with an update that is giving preference to sites that are user-friendly on a cell phone. And that's just because actually now there are more searches that happen on mobile devices like smartphones and tablets than searches that happen on desktops. So Google's really keen to show the most relevant results to its searchers, and since more people are searching on cell phones, it wants to show cell phone ready sites. What I did notice was that your site is not currently mobile friendly, and Google will back me up on that. It's got its own test. If you just Google mobile friendly test, you can run your own site through the test. I already did that, but basically this is what your site looks like from a phone. It's a little bit, the text is a bit small to read, and you're not going to really be able to navigate through the site easily. And Google just picks up on this and is a little bit less likely to show your site to people who are searching for HVAC contractors or HVAC repair, especially on their cell phones. So that's one major recommendation I would have, is having the site upgraded to mobile friendly. And that way you're going to jump up in the results and probably grab one of these map spots. Going back to the results, the other type of search result is the organic search results down here. A couple factors that go into showing up here. One of the main factors that most businesses overlook is content. Content is just writing on your site about your services. So if we take a look at the homepage, you've got this paragraph down here. However, if you really want to be seen as an authority in the area of heating and air conditioning, you definitely want to build out more content on the homepage. My recommendation for ranking in the local results is at least 1,000 words of content on your homepage, as well as additional service pages with content on those as well. And if you come back to the search results, you can actually see, I'm sure one of your local competitors, let's see, Scotty's Heat and Air. If we look at his site, he's got an organic map spot, and that's because he's got more content on his homepage. So you want to outdo the competition in terms of the amount of content, and then you're more likely to grab a map spot. And then there's one final factor that goes into consideration when Google picks what sites to show in the organic results. And basically, what that factor is the amount of sites that are local to San Diego that are mentioning your business. So the more sites on the internet that mention Seaside Heating and Air Conditioning through a link, the more times Google reads that link as a vote. And the more votes you have, the more likely you are to get an organic spot. So it's kind of like the citations with the map listings, except instead of mentions of the name, address, and phone number of your business, it's just a link from one site to another. And again, I've got a tool. It tells me exactly how many links you have on the site. So you can see these are some of your backlink sites. ImperialCountyWebsite.com, San Diego County Website.com. The more local the sites are and the more powerful they are, the more power your site gets. And currently, if we take a look at the numbers, you can see you've got 19 referring domains or 19 votes from separate websites pointed in towards Seaside Heating and Air. And that's actually a pretty good number. That's more than most local businesses I work for. That's more than they usually have. Just to kind of show you a comparison, though, what it takes to get one of those top spots, if we run Scotty's Heat and Air through the same test, I'm more than willing to bet they're probably outdoing the competition. And just as I thought, you can see they've got 90 referring domains or 90 separate websites that are pointing links back towards Scotty's Heat and Air. So that's going to be my final recommendation for getting your website found more, is building out, getting links from local powerful websites around San Diego. Now, most of the tips I've given you so far are all things you can do on yourself pretty easily. However, backlinks are where I do recommend you outsource, just because you have to be careful with what sites you get links from. A lot of businesses will just pay from links from any kind of websites, and Google sees those sites as spam and kind of flags you in the results. So what I do is I've got my own network of San Diego-based websites that I link out to with the businesses that I partner with. So that's one thing I would be able to do for you. And between all those different factors, you should be able to grab not only a local map listing in Oceanside, but also show up in the organic results. And that's going to at least double, if not triple, the amount of times your website gets found on the internet. And then finally, we'll kind of wrap this up. Moving on to the website, once someone's already there, the first thing I'm going to recommend is getting a phone number maybe below this logo right here. And that phone number should be click to call, so that whenever someone lands on the website, they're going to see the phone number very easily. So it should be bold and large. And then all they have to do when they're on their phone is tap on that number, and then they're instantly connected with your business, instead of having to kind of search for the phone number and then exit out of the dialer or exit out of the browser to open the dialer and call you. So that's my first tip. And then the other thing I would recommend for the homepage, besides a bigger phone number and more content, is a free quote form. And that's just going to enable you to get contact information from searchers who might not be able to, or might not be ready to pull the trigger on a phone call yet and get in touch with you, but maybe are looking to quote or shop a few different companies. This way you can get their contact information and follow up with them and create that sale. And I think that's my last tip. So Charles, I want to thank you for watching the video. I appreciate your time, and I really hope you've gotten some value out of it. Like I said, basically, if you wanted to, you can really do most of these things on your own. However, what I'll close with is that I'm looking to partner with one HVAC company in North County exclusively, and not only handle all of these things for them, but also show them additional ways to really grow and scale the business and multiply the amount of leads that are coming in through the internet. So if you're interested in learning more, by all means, give me a call. My cell is 760-600-5890. Again, my name's Tim, and have a great night.